Okay.
Yeah, let's get started. So, the first question is, like how much time have you spent inside the OLSP circle, whether you're a
Well,
VIP or starting out?
yeah, I started, let me think, it was just, well, I'm just on the year now. I started last December and I came in on what was a Tuesday night webinar. I was given a link by the person who introduced me to OLSP, and I came in on the the Tuesday night webinar, and I thought, what is going on? What is going on here? This is not like other webinars where you're brought in, little or no training is provided, and everything is about dropping the link at the end and getting you into something that's either most unlikely for you. So it was very alien. And Wayne is his own person. He has his own personality. He has his own way of running the trainings and webinars that he produces. But he's a very, very likable, honest person. And he shoots from the hip and tells you exactly what what to expect, and what, more importantly, I suppose, what not to expect, because there's so much flim flam out there and nonsense that other platforms and other platform owners want you to believe, but they just, for my part, they can't, they don't come up. You know, it's not like for like if you try to measure one against the other. So. Um, I'm very satisfied with my decision to come to OLSP. Um, and I was fortunate enough where, although I came in and bought a $7 link, within a very, very short period of time, I had upgraded into VIP. And the rest to say is kind of history. I've moved on from there, and I've had a fabulous 2025, and really looking forward to 2026, even more so, I would say. You know,
Awesome. Would you let me know, like, what kind of results that you've got since you joined OLSP?
I
Like, was
suppose,
it successful?
oh, absolutely. Two things really, to give you an indication of that. So within um, really just, I suppose, 7 months, I had uh, launched my own product, um, with the help of OLSP, with the help of Wayne and his team. And just in November there, I had my first webinar, which I flew. I won't quite say flew solo, because there are people who are there to support you. Um, but it was me, it was the camera and my audience. So from that perspective, I did my first solo webinar. There's technical support in the background. When questions come in, perhaps, and you're presenting, and you don't always get onto the question immediately. If a question is landed in the chat. So um, I think in time to come, I will be able to handle it all completely myself. But certainly from the outset, I'd support. So those are the two main things. I launched my product and had my first solo webinar, all within the space of really 11 months, I suppose. So those are the kind of the results that. And if you've been on any of the, I would say, the most recent webinars and trainings that Wayne has done, you can see the kind of financial results which have resulted from that as well. I made my first $19,000 in within a space of 5 days, which was Yeah. I mean, I
So
was very satisfied. I mean, no stretch of the imagination is that the perhaps the best that Wayne's personal students have created. There are others who have made more in shorter periods of time, but I was very satisfied for a first attempt with that.
I think you've put in a lot of effort in your in your launching your own product.
Yes, there's a lot of man hours that you don't see in a product launch, and as I understand things, the platforms like WarriorPlus, where there are a lot of affiliates launching a lot of products. I have to be honest and say there's a lot of product on those platforms that are not really very good at all. Products that I would say for $7 within OLSP, it would just kick those products into touch. To use a rugby analogy, it's the OLSP should never understate what value comes from OLSP for as little as $7. The amount of training and the amount of value that's provided from that. You could go on to Warrior Plus today, right now, and spend $7 and not get even a minuscule amount of value from the $7 that you would spend on some of the products that I've seen on Warrior Plus. That's my personal view, though. Others may disagree with me, but that's what I can see.
Yeah, I know there are a lot of people on Munchai on
Yeah,
in the launch calendar. Most of their offers are under $10, and
yep,
they give the affiliate 100% commissions. And
yep,
sometimes there are some vendors uh, give the affiliate 100% commission on all the funnel. Like there
yep,
is a reason for
yep.
that. Like they want to get buyers, they want to get buyer leads, and they want to pitch them to their webinar.
Yes,
Like this
that's
is
exactly.
called a loss leader. I
Yes, a
learned
loss
this.
leader. Yeah.
Yeah, I learned this from Wayne Crow, if you know. I'm sorry, Omar Martin.
Uh-huh.
Uh, but Omar Martin is focusing on high ticket.
Yes.
Okay. But
Yeah.
I also want to create my own product, but I also want to lead people from my product to OLSP, which is a
Hmm.
$7 offer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to find a way on that. So, what did you do? How did you lead people to OLSP? I don't know if you did or not.
Well, yes, I have. I mean, that's starting point. That's a starting point. But once I'd seen perhaps the bigger picture, um, and through Wayne's training, to then go through a process of um, designing a product, finding a niche and an opening um, where that perhaps isn't being serviced or isn't being serviced as well as it might be. Um, to be able to do that, and then the work thereafter to to put into that to make the product, because there's a lot of man hours involved, a lot of recording, a lot of writing, and a lot of I mean, my product is a digital course in AI from a fundamental level, from a starting point, um, and it was really designed for those. Not completely of my generation, but mostly, shall I say, the target audience was the Gen Xers out there who, from I think Sally Katz said it the other day. The Gen Xers that are out there at the minute are the ones that are really crushing it. There's everywhere you look, there are Gen Xers doing really good work and putting all the young lads to shame, shall we say, you know. But the product that I developed was targeted towards a Gen X audience who perhaps hadn't grown up with the same kind of familiarity that younger counterparts would have with technology and with AI and with all the with everything that's available to us now, and the environment that we work. They're not as au fait with that, perhaps. So I wanted to create something that would help them. And it was a digital course, um, you know, video recordings and such like. And I don't think I quite appreciated how much time and effort that you have to put in, as well as doing everything else at the same time. So whilst it's my in developing the product, it was my main focus at that time. But that didn't mean to say that all the non-negotiables on a daily basis still had to be done. I still had to go out and exercise the toffee method on Facebook and everything else that had gone before that. So you're doing that and then developing a product on top of that. It's a serious commitment that you have to make in doing that. And I just can't imagine that going back to those products that we've seen on WarriorPlus. I mean, there's just no effort or time spent on many of these products. And you'd have to say if it's only costing $7, you know, what do you expect for $7? That's
Not much.
not a lot, no. Which
Yeah.
is why the OLSP $7 product just stands out, because it opens doors and it opens processes if the individual wants that, to be able to go on and uh,
I
and
once
make the best of it.
I once when I was planning to create my first product, I spent almost 6 months
Hmm?
just creating the videos. It was over 50 videos
Yeah.
in the course. And when I ended the launch, I told myself I took a look at the course and I said I could do better. I mean, what I have just done is nothing compared to what I to what uh, like what I can present. Like
Yes.
I
What you
can do
can. Yeah.
more. So I thought about creating the 2.0 version of the course, but I've had some hiccups. But yeah, like like in Warrior Plus, there are a lot of products that is not presented, not properly presented. Like there are
Mm.
some vendors launches products every month or every 2 weeks, and
Mhm.
they present it in a Google Doc.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's not professional at all. It feels
No.
like you are
No.
not respecting the buyer, if you know what I mean.
Yes. I
So
mean, I've seen lead magnets that are better than that.
yeah, yeah. And if you know, I really took a look at your profile. Wayne told us that you're really good at AI, and you once showed him a video of yourself, a
Yeah.
reel, and
Yeah.
he couldn't recognize that it was AI. Like
Yeah.
what? How did you do that? Like I
So
I wish I can do that myself.
this was in the time leading up to the launch of the product. And as Wayne does, he sent me a message, and he says, "Have you got a couple of minutes? Just hop on a quick call." I said, "Yep, fine." And he said, "I need to have an AI video of you, you know, a short reel." I said, "Yep, okay, I'll do that. Give me a few minutes, sort of thing, and I'll come back to you." And I did. I uploaded it into the chat that we were on a Teams meeting, and I sent the video over. And he came back to me very quickly, and he said, "No, no, Paul. I think you misunderstood. I wanted an AI video of you talking to camera." I said, "Yeah, that's it." He went, "Where is it?" I said, "Further up the chat." Now, luckily enough, Lou, who's on Wayne's team, was also in that call, and He said to him, he says, yes, it's there. It's just scroll up a bit. It's in the chat. And Wayne was genuinely, he thought that I had just recorded myself on camera and sent a video of myself saying, the few words that he want, that he'd asked me to do. And but it wasn't. I'd generated it through AI. So I mean, he was gracious enough to have a laugh about it, and he's used it. He's used that story quite a few times since it happened. So that's how it came about.
Yeah, what app were you using to create those? I
So
found HeyGen, but I found
yeah,
that it is a bit complicated, in my
it's
opinion.
once like most of these. I mean, there's lots of different platforms out there, all specializing in doing different things. And each of the platforms, I would have to say, depending on what kind of AI, what you want to produce, each will have its specialities and its the stuff that it's good at. I have a preference because of the kind of AI videos that I create. Um, the really talking head type videos. I found that HeyGen is the best at what it does for that. So that's my personal preference. But there are lots of platforms, lots of other AI tools that you can use to do the same thing. It's just that HeyGen is my preference. I mean, you can use Sora, and a mixture of ChatGPT and Sora and the Gemini, and you'll be familiar with the other tools that are out there
Yeah,
to
I
be able.
tried Google Gemini and
Yeah,
ChatGPT and
yeah,
Sora, and they like my face wasn't um, as the one that I uploaded. Like
yeah.
that's what's annoying about them. That's
It's
why I moved
yes,
to Haitian.
it changes. I mean, I use AI a lot. I mean, if you have a look at my content on my Facebook profile, you'll see a lot of not just AI video, but AI images and images of me. And I found that the creation of my I wouldn't necessarily say that I have one AI twin. A lot of people talk about your AI twin or your digital double, as it's being referred to more now. I don't have just one of these. I have lots of iterations of my double, but I've found an equilibrium of image that produces consistent results, which I'm very happy with. Um, and once you have it set up, it's really very simple to do. Um, we're in a situation at the moment with this 30-day challenge that we're all involved in, where the order of the day is to create reels. Now, um, the reels that we are creating from these types of videos are in person. They are real conversations that we're having. What I tend to do with some other reels, the majority of reels that I create that are not these interview style podcast type reels that we're generating just now, where I'm using an AI twin and a voice clone and writing a script and putting it all together and producing a reel. Now, once you have those building blocks in place, so once you've got your imaging that you're satisfied with, once you've got, and the hardest part is the voice cloning. Once you have that to a degree, I still personally, and I keep playing these back to my wife because if anybody knows me well, it's my wife, and I will play her two versions. I'll play me, just on a mic recording the same script, and I'll do the augmented voice alongside and mix them up and play one first and then the other first and all that sort of thing. And there have been versions of the voice where I think she's kind of got them right each time, but the deciding if she has it right is taking her a little bit longer each time. So, which I'm pleased about. I don't know if she is, but I am. Now, I've been
That's
married.
how scary AI is.
Yeah, I've been with my wife now for 40 years. So somebody who has known you for 40 years and knows your voice and knows you inside out, if they have to stop and think about how good or not good the voice is, then I think that I'm satisfied with that.
Awesome. Now there is one other question I have in mind, which is, um, how did you like what strategy did you use that bring the most income from OLSP or in other projects other than OLSP?
Okay, well, that's I've already I've already mentioned that by far and away the one that's produced the best results financially, personally, self-gratification, all that sort of thing is the launch of the product and then into the webinar. That is without a doubt. But that's the difference between Wayne always talks about moving away from being the consumer to the producer. And that, in doing that, in creating the product and then moving to the webinar, that is that transition in one, moving away from consumer, becoming the producer, and that's certainly what I came on board to do, and that's what I want to continue to do, and that's what it's all about for me. Um, it's that journey to be able to do that. Although I appreciate that there are many people out there who are satisfied to be an affiliate and to promote, not to have the perceived hassle of creating a product and putting the time in that you need to do to be able to do that. There's a lot of people, many people that don't want to do that. It's not the first time I've heard Wayne say actually that he could have stayed as an affiliate and he would have made as much money as he wanted through being an affiliate without everything that comes with running a business. And but it's never just for me, it's never just about the money. Money is nice, money is good, but if you're purely driven by money, then I think at some point there's going to be a, a bit of a void for you there because that is I think that's a model that is not really sustainable for a long time. If you can find a balance between time that's available to you to spend with, for example, to spend with family, loved ones, whatever, balanced with making money, but also putting a little bit more of yourself into the equation and helping others to do similar, then that has its own endorphin shot within that. There's nothing more pleasing than to see somebody who has gone from not knowing what to do to all of a sudden, or or over a period of time, shall I say, able to. It's like watching. I don't know if you have children, but if it's like
I do.
watching children walk for the same time. That moment where they move from standing up and pulling themselves up, using bits of furniture in the room to pull themselves up, and then that moment where they let go, and all of a sudden they walk, and you think, yes, that's it. Now, that brings with it its own problems, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
But that analogy translated into somebody who comes to affiliate marketing not knowing what to do and taking those first tentative steps into and making the mistakes and falling and grazing knees and bloody noses and all that sort of thing, but eventually to be at a stage where they are able to do all of that themselves without any sort of without any thought at all. It's second nature. That in itself is something that's just fabulous, and that goes into the mix.
Awesome. I have one other question. Like I really don't use the interview hub question explorer too much,
Okay.
but I do have a question in mind, which is, uh, you have family,
Yes.
which I'm sure you sometimes get busy with life. How
Yes.
do you balance between both? How can you stay consistent with your business? Like this
That
is
question is
hard
a
for me.
great question, and it's one that probably my children and my wife would be better placed to answer than I would, because throughout my working life, I have an offline business which I've run for the last 25 years, which I've said I think on every interview that I've done throughout this last month. Um, so working for myself and making time to do what is and constantly prioritizing what needs to be done is something that I'm comfortable with, and that I've done for a number of years. And with the sort of the evolution of my online activity with OLSP, to integrate that into my existing business and my life, it's I, sometimes it's more difficult than others for sure. But I would say you kind of just have to get on with it. Um, be mindful of the fact that there are priorities, and everybody's priorities will be different. But you have to bring what's important to the top first, and then work back from there to what's a lesser importance than the initial pressing thing that needs to be done. Now, whether for me, whether that's in my offline business, whether it's in my online business, or whether that's a family thing, then that will change from circumstance to circumstance. But it's to get good at prioritizing. I would say that that's the way through it, and to make the decisions. And it's a every single decision becomes a gap analysis then.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think we all have problems with prioritizing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like in the past couple of days, my son is my son got sick. There's a
Right.
new virus in the air, if you know what I mean, and
Okay.
he's
Yep.
coughing a lot.
Yeah.
Um, that's why we keep going back and forth in hospitals, and yeah, I got really busy.
Yep.
I also didn't attend the live training yesterday, and didn't complete today's training. So yeah,
Okay.
but it is life.
It 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 is life. It's difficult, but what I would say is that I'm not suggesting somebody's going to come along and do all your work for you. We have a great resource here with OLSP, with the community. And if there's something that I believe, if there's something that you can ask of others to help you with that would make that priority decision making easier, then ask. The worst thing that can happen is somebody will say no. That's the worst that will happen. And I think you would be surprised how often, if you really need help, how often people would come and say, I'll help with that, Sultan.
That's awesome. I think that's all the questions that I really have, and really thanks a lot for thanks a lot for this
You're
call.
welcome.
Thanks a lot.
I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time, Sultan.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye for now.